I graduated from Sydney University in 1981 in architecture. I started a firm of Health Projects International in Australia about 25 years ago. TAHPI is the international branch network of HPI. The business of TAHPI is to bring efficient healthcare in much of the world, which is regarded as developing. They have the demand, they have the population, they have the need, they don't have the knowledge. Without that knowledge, they're very likely to repeat the mistakes of the developed world, which is almost going bankrupt through the healthcare costs. So my intention was to bring efficient knowledge to that vast area of the world, all the way from Australia to East Asia, West Asia, all the way to Africa, in an efficient way. Duplication is counted in billions around the world. So that's number one. Number two is the components that go to their facilities that lead to the services have to be standardized and repeatable. Every time you put the human energy and knowledge into one facility, then you waste it the next year. Next facility comes up and the next mission comes up and you start all over again. And the other thing is that once somebody is paid for one of those repeatable elements, they shouldn't have to pay for it again. We've discovered over the years, if you take a conventional design and try to build it in a factory, however clever that factory is, it's going to cost a lot more than conventional. However, if you turn it around the other way, and if you set up a factory, program the robots to do the same thing repeatedly, the cost comes down like anything else. Computers, cars, cameras, and so on and so forth. So we have to have scale. And the elements can be repeated by the 1,000, not by 1 or 2. The question of whether we're going to have a cookie cutter approach and everything is going to look like a box and boring design raises its head all the time. But you look at almost every other industrial product that has been through this process, from cars to cameras to laptops to your iPhone and so on, they are beautiful, they are innovative. I personally believe the force of history is such that it will push us in that direction. So today's powerhouse architects and designers will be the powerhouses of the factories of the future. Instead of doing one-off so-called bespoke design, they will have catalogs of products. They will have different components that are built by many factories, like the designers of a Dell computer. Dell doesn't build anything except a box and a few other things in it. Inside, there are chips from Intel, Samsung, Nvidia. They assemble these industrial products into a beautiful box and they market it and they sell it. And it works out of the box. So the idea that an architect with a capital A must own every part of this product, it will be a thing of the past. I firmly believe in 20 years' time, we'll be laughing at that situation. That hospitals were built like Michelangelo made the statue of David. That will be laughable. In the future, on-site, there will still be about 10 to 20% of work for land preparation, dealing with the neighbors, dealing with authorities. However, the elements of construction will nearly all come from outside. And then there is an assembly crew. Instead of a construction crew, there's an assembly crew that will assemble large elements, 3-story high columns, 8-meter floor planks, pretension beams, whole rooms. That is what I've seen in the future, and we're doing it today. I actually think that Australia's skill is in the knowledge rather than in the construction itself. Unfortunately, volume doesn't exist in Australia. There isn't enough volume to drive that shock therapy that is necessary. What we should do is to go by the formula of the clever country. We should create those inventions, all those methodologies that the rest of the world will require, and then bring it to Australia itself. It can then transform Australia that way. This force of history is bigger than all of us. It is like a huge wave coming through the ocean, and the little molecules of water are not aware of what's happening. But through them, a wave is coming. It is unstoppable. It will happen. So we are either a tool of that happening, or we'll be bypassed. The people that will drive that wave in 10 years' time are already born, and a good percentage of them are right here on this campus. They are right here. I want them to have this spark of an idea that they catch this wave and build upon it not for 1 or 2 buildings in their lifetime, but their ambition should be to change the world. That's what they should do. So learn the ways of the future rather than the ways of the past, and invent the ways of the future. Don't think that everything that needs to be done has already been invented. No, go out there and invent it yourself right now.